Lucky Boys Podcast.
Because I have experience with the New York City juvenile and criminal justice system, specifically with the Department of Correction, I am totally against the closing of Rikers. If you have time, I will explain that to you. But if you don't have time, then we'll leave it.
All right, we'll dive into that. Why do you feel Rikers Island should be kept open?
But first of all, you can't blame. This is like a gun mentality. We can't blame the gun for killing you if I leave the gun and nobody touches the gun. You can't blame an island for the casualties of, all the injustice that's happening in the island. This is just an island.
But do you feel that because it's disconnected from where the judgment takes place, that they kind of become their own little law? Whereas if they were closer...
Well, the thing is, here's the clue. This is like Mad Max. Who runs Bartertown? Who runs Rikers? The Department of Corrections, correct? So if you have a corrupt system and the system is not fixed, if you have guards that are taking bribes, bringing in drugs, bringing in phones,
two of them just got convicted of it.
Here's the situation. This is how engineers think. If you have a corrupt system, the system is still corrupt. If you're going to clean out the island, but you still leave the system corrupt. So now, this is the virus, a contaminated petri dish called the Department of Correction. Let's close Rikers. So once you leave Rikers, but you still have this contaminated petri dish of Department of Correction.
The virus spreads, you're saying.
You're now killing Raccoon City and taking this, we got a nice captain. Let's put him in the Chinatown MDC. We got this over here. And you just basically took this contaminated petri dish, the Department of Correction, and spread that out to the other boroughs. The problem is, as a scientist or an engineer, you're supposed to surgically remove the virus. By closing Rikers, you're only going to clean Riker.
You don't think it makes a difference?
With the way New York City is, and there are, and I know it sounds really fucked up, and there are corruptions in all parts of our, political and our city government running system. I've seen corruption, in shit. I mean, if you see it locally in Chinatown and some of the associations and how politicians are running, how certain deals are being taken care of on a local level. If you notice that there are corruptions in the legal system, how this bail reform thing, that's another issue. Because what good is a jail if you keep having people that never made it into jail? The revolving door is at the court. So some of these guys will probably never made it to jail and they'll come back right out.
Even for violent crimes?
Yes. 98 times it's been, I'm just using 98 in one person, 98 times and he goes right back out. So he never made it to Rikers. Or maybe he was at Rikers for one day for a meal and a shower. And he comes right back out. Who's benefit? And the thing is, that's another thing with, with New York City, the fact that it's
I just wanted to add I read somewhere that's where most of the crime is occurring in New York City. It's not new people making crime. It's most of the time the same people that's been let out, even for violent crime, whether it's whether for a gun crime or a gun charge or attempted murder. They go in, they get processed, they come right back out. Somehow someone that was trying to do an attempted murder was able to get back out on the street
twice,
only to reattempt a murder and successfully doing it by accident. If you heard about the 16-year-old girl that was shot and killed, there were 3 teenagers that were coming home from school, and 3 of them were shot. All right, 2 16-year-old girls and a 17-year-old male that had nothing to do with whoever they were trying to shoot at. I worked
very close to that area most in the Bronx.
Yeah.
I know exactly
they were
where
trying to shoot at someone else, and they just happened to be coming wrong place, wrong time, coming back home from school. 3 teenagers shot, one of them killed, the other 2 fighting for their life. And the suspect has a lengthy rap sheet and the priors was attempted murder, shooting. And they're wondering, how can a system there's clearly a flaw in the system.
It's broken, yeah.
Oh, by the
where
way,
someone like that gets to come back out.
for that we use in the social service system. It's flawed by design.
Why?
Because the other quote by another doctor is, when you want to find a solution to the problem, you don't find what the problem is. You find out who benefits from the
Follow the money. Follow the money trail.
Because just like ACS cases or HRA, when they're constantly abusing the system for the benefits and public assistance, as long as they keep running, the people that are employed in those places is considered job security.
How does someone profit that greatly over someone else being killed and not holding them accountable?
Why does the same question is a college, a high school kid that never finished education? He's worth nothing, but he's worth $55,000 in the prison system, because that's how much the prison, the pipeline.
But these people aren't actually getting processed into the prison.
Guess what?
Long term.
In that process, along that process that is flawed, somebody during these process is making money off of that.
But didn't they want to do bail reform originally because there were people, innocent people, being held for such a long time, actually dying in Rikers, and this kid was innocent?
I know that for a fact because my previous organization I worked for, Khalif Browder, that's the person, they literally criminalized the poor because he was allegedly arrested. Well, he was arrested for allegedly stolen a backpack.
Right.
Yeah.
The backpack, but he never made bail. So he was at Rikers more than 2 years waiting for a trial. So what happens afterward, he came, and his mental state of mind, he committed suicide. His brother now is currently working at the organization that I used to work. But I am very familiar with that because the bottom line is they are criminalizing the poor. But you also have to remember that some of these individuals, although they are poor, some of them have multiple records. But we also know that in the Bronx, in the news one time, a woman, judge, literally let a perp out of her courtroom through her chambers. There is so much stuff that is going on that is like so wrong in so many places in the system that you really want to know. The only way we can find out is, but nobody, because the fact that the chaos is in such disarray, there's so much misdirection because of all the stuff that's going on.
You know what they say? There's a lot of profit in chaos.
Lucky Boys Podcast.